If we weren't tree planting, you would be cancelled for blackface.
Ooh, I know.
Welcome to Bushlife. I found out that what I'm developing is the claw. This is the first time in my life where I genuinely wish that I was fatter. So it is day 2 of the 3rd shift, Wednesday. And it's starting to feel like work, guys. I'm freaking exhausted. Well, actually, no, I'm not exhausted. I'm just in pain. My lower back just feels like really compressed. I think it's the shoulder straps. Like my shoulders themselves don't hurt, but I think just all the weight going down onto my back is just like really compressing my spine. This is the first time in my life where I genuinely wish that I was fatter. And that's because my waist right now is too small to like really tighten it and like have all the weight being on the waist. Like I'm like at the end of my freaking waist straps. And I mean, I'm taking off my shoulder straps and that's helping a little bit. I also use some CBD oil, but it's just gonna get worse as the season progresses and my body emaciates even further. It's like 1:12. I've done like 600 trees or so. I'm planting 205 trees in an hour and 31 minutes. I'm trying to do an hour and a half, but that pesky 1 minute just can't seem to go away. I have to plant way more firs than everyone else because I fucked up my ratio. Basically, every block we're expected to plant a certain percentage of each fir or species. It's supposed to be 60 pine and 40 fir here. And I swear I'm good at math, but at the end of the day, my ratio was so bad yesterday. It was like 80-20. So today my foreman's like, okay, you're planting 60% fir. And normally that'd be okay, except for the fact that we're still using the fucking fertilizer. So it's taking a lot longer. And I'm planting more firs and it's not fun. It's not fun at all. I feel like I want to quit, but I need money. So I can't. Good morning, y'all. I thought I would take some time to give you a little tour of this camp and tell you what it's like to live in the bush. So as you can see in the front, this is where we keep all of the box trucks. This is where the vehicles we use to go into work and house all of our trees and supplies. Over here we probably have the grossest part of the entire camp. These are our outhouses, which are basically just holes that we all have to take turns digging, and inside are just little toilet seats that we use. These outhouses smell fucking putrid because it's literally just everyone's shit piled on top of each other. There's no running water. I would personally rather just shit in the bush, but we're not allowed to do that here since there are bears, and apparently bears are attracted to shit, and if a bear comes into camp, we're gonna have to shoot it. So the rule is save the bears, don't shit in the woods. We move the location of the toilets basically every week, and then we just fill these holes with soil and then put a stick in it. It's funny because they say we want to keep this place looking the way that it was before we came here, so we don't want to modify it too much, but with all this fucking human feces here, I don't think that's really possible anymore. This is the main mess tent. This is where we go to eat all of our food, and the kitchen staff have this like really cool pop-out kitchen that just attaches to a trailer, and they cook all of our gourmet meals there. Right in front we have our running water. This is the sink that we use. It's a pretty muddy area, honestly, so you really need your rain boots. And then this little thing is our potable water, so this is where we fill all of our water bottles for work. This tent is where all the managers go to check our numbers and do our payroll. I can't really go in there because I'm not a manager, but I'll show you the inside of the mess tent kitchen. So this is where we all eat. Usually in the mornings, this area is full of treats that we can bring on the block and sandwiches over here. The way that bush camp works is we basically don't have to cook any of our foods. There are designated kitchen staff that do all of our cooking, which is pretty blessed considering that we work like 10, 12 hours a day and ain't nobody got the time or energy to feed themselves as well. And food is very important here. So very grateful that we have that set up there. And next to that are our showers. Something that I'm really grateful for is the fact that there is unlimited running hot water. It's funny because being here tree planting has made me both the cleanest and the dirtiest that I have been in a really long time. I am the cleanest I've been in a really long time because I'm taking a shower every single day, which is something that I haven't done in almost a year since I moved out of the house and started living in my van. I would be lucky if I got a shower like once every week or 2 weeks, but here I can do it every day. But the reason why I'm doing it every day is because I am absolutely filthy after a shift. I called this episode Dirt and Debauchery because I thought I would have my hands in the dirt all the time, but I didn't think that my body would just be covered in dirt. Like, it doesn't matter if you are fully clothed, the dirt will just seep in to every freaking pore of your skin. So let's go inside one of these and I'll show you what it looks like. There's 8 of them and about 100 people in camp, so it takes a little bit of time, but we can all get a shower every day. So yeah, it's a super simple box truck setup. Just shower, curtain, and a little bit of space to store your shit. Right beside that, we have the COVID showers and the COVID shitters, which are only to be used for anyone who may have developed COVID and needs to be isolated. Luckily, no one in camp has had to use it yet, but they are off limits to everyone else. So that's pretty much it for the living situation. Everything else is just tents and vans that people have brought in to live in. I am very lucky to have my van because shit, it's fucking cold in May. And I get to be off the ground and in a comfy van, and although I don't have much insulation, I definitely can keep myself warm against the wind and snow and rain compared to other people, so I'm very lucky. But there are some cool tent situations here, so I thought I would show you guys a few of those as well. Some people will create little lean-tos and put a tarp over just to help weatherproof their tents a little bit more. Some people will come with their cars and then just bring a little tent just to store their shit in so it's not cluttered inside their cars. Other people will take tarps and create some kind of dome thing to either connect 2 tents or to create a little outdoor living space connected to the entrance of their tent. And some people create these really cool campfire setups for their teams. I'm really amazed how ingenious people can get with just the supplies around here. So these guys have brought an entire ping pong table with them into camp, and they've also taken the flag that we use for the trees and they created this cute little vibe here.
All the distance.
This is what happens when you don't plant ambi. You get blisters in your blisters. My hands are pretty good. I have like a tiny blister there, but I like barely even notice it. So plant ambi, folks.
Yeah, maybe I should have go for MP.
Do you regret your choice now?
No,
Does your
it's for the
I don't
challenge.
know, what do we call that?
Heel?
Heel, yeah. Does your heel are fucked up?
Nope.
You want to see mine?
Sure. I want to see all the disgusting things.
You sure?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wow. You think so little of yourself, eh?
Yep. It's not that bad now because actually it's wet,
Yeah.
but it
Ew.
fucking hurt.
Yeah. Did you break in your hiking shoes before this?
Nah.
That's why.
Yeah, but I think we talk about that, and I did, but
Do you still get blisters?
yeah, I'm fucked up too.
Are you using like cotton socks?
What is it?
Cotton socks?
All kind of sucks. I have like
Yeah.
Cotton socks are actually really bad for your feet because they're not breathable, and so that they cause blisters and stuff like that. They recommend wearing either wool or synthetic.
Gonna burn it. Damn, what the?
It is the first thing in the morning, and I thought I would take you through my morning routine because I believe that it is really important to set your mind and body right first thing in the morning, no matter what you're doing in your days, but especially when you're out here doing such a mentally and physically tough job such as tree planting. So I look pretty crusty. I just woke up. The first thing I like to do is I grab my phone once I turn off my alarm, but I don't check it. I don't fuck around on it. I go onto Spotify and I open up my favorite playlist. It's called Heart Coherence. It's just good sounds of like just good vibes. And then I'll put that on and I'll start meditating for like 5 to 10 minutes. I try not to lie down because then I might just fall back asleep. I'll put my pillow and sit up. And then the first conscious thought that I like to have and the first words that I like to speak out of my mouth is this, and it's, wow, I am so grateful to be alive. Because it's not given that you would just wake up every single day and get to experience another opportunity of life. Like, there are people who go to sleep and never wake up, right? So I try to remind myself of that, and that just helps refocus my energy on appreciating this day and making the most of it, because there are people who aren't able to experience it like I am. So that is how I set up myself mentally, and then from there I start doing some yoga. When it becomes a little bit warmer during the mornings, I'll do this outside, but so far I've been able to manage this in my bed. If you have a little tent, you could definitely do this as well. I told you, it's fucking first thing in the morning. So I start off with child's pose. It's a great way to warm up your back, and then from there I'll go into doing a puppy pose, which is a little bit more of an intense back stretch and helps open up your shoulders as well. I also like doing some cat and cow, good for a little spinal flexibility. And then doing some wrist rolls and flexes and stuff like that, just preparing these joints for the pounding that they're gonna take in a couple of hours. And I also like doing some figure 4 poses just to help stretch out the glutes and the leg muscles. Some butterfly is great for opening up the hips as well. And then as well, I like to do this with my ankles. I think it's really important to increase your ankle flexibility and help prevent rolling your ankle and severely injuring yourself. I've had some major ankle injuries and they're really debilitating, and this is a job where you're on your feet for 10 hours of the day. Like, I roll my ankle at least once every shift, but it hasn't like gotten to a major injury yet because I've been able to build that ankle flexibility. So when you're rolling your ankles, don't be concerned by like any cracking or popping sounds that you hear. Like, it's supposed to kind of feel like you're grinding a mortar and pestle, because it is like that kind of ball joint. So once I do all that, I usually have my clothes laid out the night before, so I'll quickly put them on, wash my face, and then go have breakfast. Now, in bush camp, in my bush camp, breakfast is always shifting 15 minutes earlier for every crew. The earliest breakfast start is 5:30. And initially what I did was I woke up like at breakfast time and just quickly put on my clothes, washed my face, left, and like had 10 minutes to just grab a bunch of shit for lunch and then wait in the car to start. But I realized like that's not optimal for preparing yourself, especially in the long term. So now I'm waking up 30 minutes earlier than when breakfast starts, and I give myself about 45 minutes to wake up, mentally and physically prepare, and then I'll go out, quickly eat breakfast, grab lunch, and then wait in the car. So that is basically my morning routine in a nutshell. It is the last day of the third shift, and I'm gonna start off by saying I am grateful that today's the last day we're using these fucking fertilizers. They have been the bane of my existence. I mean, I know that it's actually pretty good for the trees and all that, but I don't know, when you get into planting, it's really easy to get very narrow-minded. You know, you just focus on the job and whatever is happening that impedes you from going really fast and PBing or personal best for your planting score. It just, I don't know, it frustrates you. So that's what I've been dealing with today, just frustration because of minor annoyances. I think just the hot sun beating down on us, it has played a huge role in just me not being able to keep my cool, quite literally. But one thing that I've found that has helped me keep my shit together is just repeating this mantra that I am developing. I think I mentioned before that the values that I'm trying to cultivate here are patience, persistence, and perseverance. So when I'm walking, when I'm taking my 3 steps to space in between the trees, that's what I'm saying. Patience, persistence, perseverance. Patience, persistence, perseverance. And that really helps me from playing in my mind all these little thoughts that just cause me to lose my shit. And I am a firm believer that what you think really affects your energy. So that has really been helping me. Thank God that it is Friday. Not really Friday, but I get a day off tomorrow because I really need it. This whole shift has been definitely a lot more difficult. I've been really reflecting on the idea of having to do this all summer, but I'm reminding myself that this is the only job that I need to do for the entire year, and then I can just fucking sit on EI the rest of the year again. So I'm just gonna do what I gotta do and repeat patience, persistence, and perseverance until the fucking day is over. I am here with my new friend Sam, and he has a really good dynamic warm-up that he's going to show us. So he does this at the beginning of every bag up.
Usually just to start my day.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I'll get out of the truck, feel stiff after a long drive, and feel like I need to move, prep the body for what it's about to do. Yeah.
Okay, show us what you got.
Okay, well, it's super simple. First thing I usually do is just get down to a deep squat. I like to bounce here. It's kind of fun just to kind of feel your hips opening up a little bit.
Generate that energy.
Yeah, exactly. Come up a little bit, put your hand on one side, open up, reach. Same thing, other side, reach. And then we'll squat up. I like to incorporate a hip hinge, so keeping your back nice and straight. Bending, 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 bending. Putting your hands underneath your toes. Stay here if it feels good. Stretch out the legs, the hamstrings, and then come down into that squat again. Open up the shoulders. Squat up. I do this one at least 5 times. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. And yeah, like this, honestly, this won't could take 30 seconds, could take 5 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling, what I want to do.
How do you prepare your wrists and your hands?
So do a lot of, again, like I was showing you before, like a lot of wrist extension. Since your flexors are taking so much of a beating, your hands are constantly like this, and your fingers and your wrist flexors work together. So what you should do is work on extending your hand, your shovel hand, as much as possible. So I just, like I was saying, every time I'm walking back to the cache and I'm bagged out, switch my shovel to my left hand and just stretch out. Just literally hold your hand like this. Force extension, hold that. The classic stretches of this. I also really like using the ground to help me, so I get up into like a tabletop. I start back here where you can see like the angle between my shoulder and my wrist is pretty big, and then slowly move where my shoulder's directly over my wrist. And I'm kind of grounding my palm into the ground. And just do that a couple times, rock back and forth. Just like that.
So your elbows are facing out?
Yeah, elbows should be kind of tucked behind, I guess. Doesn't really matter. It's just what we're working on is getting that shoulder directly over the wrist. I also here, I extend my fingers. So it's easy to just kind of relax your fingers. So my fingers, I push them as well into extension, pushing my palm into extension. Your hands will take a beating. They're not meant to be smashing rocks all day. I also like one of these, kind of get into a bear crawl, and then we're gonna just squat back and forth. Yeah. You can lunge a couple times. And same thing on the other side. Lunge. Yeah, your hip flexes. Squeeze your butt on this side. Alright, up. Squeeze your butt. Feel a stretch start to feel here. And bow in.
So how important is it to maintain this routine throughout the season?
It's key. I mean, like, I try to stretch after every work day as well. Just like 5-10 minutes in my tent. I think that's super key. Coming into the season with a high level of fitness is huge.
I woke up this morning and my right hand was going numb. I looked it up. That is either signs of carpal tunnel or tendonitis. It's probably not like a wrist thing of my tendons. Like my tendons feel good. I think I'm compressing a nerve in this wrist because I'm just like too rigid with the shovel. Like they say keep it loose, and even that motion is like so hard for me. Like it feels weird. Like here, let's see if you can see the difference. Like there's like I'm trying to keep it loose, right? There's like a shaking. Today I learned that what I'm developing is the claw. Basically what that is when a planter just holds onto their shovel like too tightly and is very rigid with their motion. Like their hand just throughout the season will just start like fucking crimpling in on itself, and the nerves are compressed and everything just gets tighter. And so planting ambi is not really gonna solve that problem. It's good in this case. Like I think this is the first time when planting ambi is coming to my advantage, because now I'm gonna like lay off on planting with my right hand and just plant with my left, because I know that I can plant like the same speed and it doesn't feel weird because I've already been practicing that. So in order to make sure that my left hand doesn't get as fucked as my right hand, I think I'm really going to focus on like trying to like keep loose and have that fluidity. And like I have been like rolling out like this part of my tendon But I think that's not enough. Like, I've been doing this as well, but they said, like, whenever you can, keep your hand open, right? Keep it from getting into this kind of position. So like today, that's all I've been doing. I've been like pulling on my hand, pulling on all the joints, stretching in every single way. But like, I don't know, it's weird to feel your body hurting in ways it's never hurt before. But it's also surprisingly empowering because I'm able to just take it, you know, like nothing that I've been doing has really been too unbearable. It's still really early in the season, so I guess maybe that's just my body still being in pretty good shape. I don't know if I'm going to be able to maintain it. I guess that all depends on how I take care of myself. But it's interesting seeing how my body is changing and adapting. Oh God. Oh God. Oh my fucking God. It is late May. Lord be with us today. I've been dreaming of a white Christmas, just not snow in fucking May. What's up, guys? It is the last day of the 4th shift, TGIF. This has been a really tough shift. I think my entire crew has felt kind of the same way. Pretty lethargic. We've been having to wake up at like 5:30 for breakfast. That's the earliest start in the entire camp. And so every crew shifts 15 minutes back every like shift. So I had to wake up at like 5 a.m. and that has been a difficult adjustment for someone who usually wakes up at 10. But other than that, I don't know, it's been hard to motivate myself to do better. Like, I did hit another PB. I did 1330 trees yesterday, which is the most that I've done. Before that, it was 5 short of 1200. So I am getting better, and it doesn't require me to go like 100% effort to get there. So I am naturally getting faster, but man, it is getting hard to motivate myself. My body is just can't catch a break, really. Like, that one day off is not enough to really rest and recuperate. So today has been tough because it fucking snowed first thing in the morning and has been snowing on and off the entire day. Our first bag up was interesting because we couldn't really see the ground. It was just all covered in snow. Thankfully, it's melted since then, but it just keeps on snowing. I am glad that we're going to Disneyland, though, tomorrow, which you may be wondering, what? And I'm not going to explain. I'm going to leave that for the next episode. But yeah, we are leaving this camp in the Cache Creek area, and we're heading down south to a new location. So hopefully the weather is nicer there, and I am more motivated. So it is the end of a long and hard work day. I am freshly showered and in my pajamas. I thought I would take some time to show you what my evening routine is and the kinds of things that I put into my body in order to make sure that it is ready to be physically abused the next day. So I take a lot of supplements. All of them are geared towards helping preserve my joint flexibility and prevent tendinitis, as well as just general muscle repair, and also making sure that my immunity is in tip-top shape, because there is no such things as taking days off when it's time to work. So for joints, I like to take collagen, as well as Lakota Joint Care, and turmeric, which is great for inflammation, as well as amla berry powder. These two things taste fucking disgusting. I take a teaspoon each, and I like to motivate myself with a little sour gummy candy at the end as a reward for just, it's worth it. And then I also take magnesium. I was highly recommended this to help with just general muscle recovery and to help prevent tightness. And also cordyceps. Now this is a type of fungus. It's kind of a wild card. I'm still not sure whether it works or not, but apparently it's good for boosting immunity as well as just helping increase your energy levels. I'm a big fan of funky funguses, so I'm okay with taking that as well. Once I finish with those supplements, then I like to roll myself out. I got this little roller for like $5 at the thrift store, and I use it to especially target my wrists and my elbows because this is the site of tendinitis, especially in this inner wrist and arm area. So I like to really get into the fascia with this. This just helps promote blood flow to that area, which helps speed up the regenerative tissue repair. I also like to roll out my feet with this. It's really important to target the feet because they are basically what connects all of your leg muscles. So it's, if you want to prevent like knee pain and stuff like that, rolling out your feet is definitely recommended. I also get into my thighs right above my knee where it's connected to the quadriceps because that's usually where knee pain initiates. And then once every 4 days on my day off, I will go in with my big ass roller after I do my yoga and get into the back and the thigh muscles and the glutes. I probably should be doing this like every day after work as well, but I'm just so tired, man. All I want to do is like cleanse myself and sleep, lie down, but I know that in the long run it's important to make sure that I keep myself stretched out because first thing in the morning I only have like 30 minutes and it's really not enough time to loosen everything that needs to be loosened.
Hello.
Yeah.
So you're the interviewee being interviewed.
I'm the interviewer being
Interviewer.
interviewee.
Yes, thanks. Thanks. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, a lot of Frenchies here. You got
So how would you describe your experience planting so far?
Coming into this, I kind of considered this as the hero's journey, the archetypal hero's journey. Yeah, I see it as a deeply transformative process that I'm just beginning, so I can't really say before or after. I think I really let go of who I was and was able to jump in really well, so I'm glad. And I see it as a great opportunity to just like really love myself because every day, like if you want to be the best, like you have to prepare yourself like mentally and physically. And when you're freaking exhausted and mentally done and don't want to plant another tree or just want to go to bed, you have to love yourself more and say, just do it again. One more tree. You know, take all those supplements, take some time to stretch your and stuff.
Pre-workout?
Yeah. No, not pre-workout, but like post-workout stretch and like, cause if you don't, like, the future you is just gonna suffer, right? So like you love yourself in the future by taking care of yourself in the present, and then that's you appreciating yourself in the past as well. So it's like a full circle of self-love.
I love